If you're looking for an outdoor security camera with all the latest technology like Matter, HomeKit, and Ethernet support, the Aqara G5 Pro hub is definitely worth checking out. It's one of the most hyped up smart home devices in a while, with features you won't find on other outdoor cameras. But does it live up to the hype, or is it overhyped and underwhelming? Well, today we'll look at the pros and the cons to see if this camera is worth buying for your smart home or if you should skip it. Let's first start out with the pros. What's so great about the G5 Pro camera? For starters, it comes in two colors, shadow gray and white, and in two different versions. One with Ethernet that supports PoE for a hardwired connection, and a Wi-Fi only model. While hardwiring a security camera is definitely the most reliable option, it's not always feasible to run a cable in an already built home. So I'm glad to see that Aqara offers a Wi-Fi only model as well. I do wish there was one model with both Wi-Fi and Ethernet built in. This way, if you decide to hardwire this camera later on, you could easily hardwire it without having to buy a whole new camera. It's important to note that the Ethernet model does not support Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi model does not support Ethernet. So you'll first want to decide where and how you'll connect this camera before buying. I received the Wi-Fi model from Aqara for my unbiased, not sponsored review that offers the same features as the Ethernet model but cannot be hardwired. Now, one common issue with mounting cameras outside is the risk of theft. What happens if somebody tries to take your camera down? Well, Aqara has thought of that and has several features designed to make it harder for anyone to use the camera if they steal it. The reset button is hidden behind the back casing, making it difficult to reset and prevent easy tampering. If somebody attempts to reset the camera with anti-theft lock enabled, they'll be blocked from adding it to their Aqara account, keeping your video recordings protected. You can also receive an alert via text or email if someone tries to bind the camera to their account. You'll want to enable these settings ahead of time as they cannot be turned on when the camera is offline. Now, I'm in the process of moving, a teaser to my next video, so I was not able to drill into my home to mount this camera. So I had to come up with a different way to mount this camera. I ended up removing the base and putting it on a tripod mount connected to this portable lightweight power station for testing in different areas around my home. It's the River 3 Plus by EcoFlow, the sponsor of today's video. It has all the outlets you would need to power small devices like phones, tablets, and even large appliances like coffee makers, or even a refrigerator for keeping food fresh during power outages. With its ability to last for days on a single charge, the River 3 Plus offers versatility in various places, like at home on gaming stations, powering devices while off the grid, or even out and about at a party with a HomePod for playing music. If you live in areas where a natural disaster may occur, like a flood, fires, or tornadoes, investing in a portable power station is crucial to stay connected to family, friends, and emergency services. It can be charged in 4 different ways, only takes an hour to recharge using AC power, and lasts up to 10 years using advanced battery technology. EcoFlow has a Valentine's Day sale going on right now where you can get up to 57% off their power stations. And if you use my code right here, you can get an additional 5% off. So just go to the link down in the video description below, and a huge thank you to EcoFlow for sponsoring today's video. Next, let's look at the video quality of this camera. And this is where things get rather interesting. It's almost 2K resolution in the Aqara app with a 133-degree wide field of view with an optional lens correction feature that crops in slightly for a more natural view. Faces are very clear even in bright daylight thanks to its 1.0 aperture that lets in more light, avoiding overexposure that's commonly found in other outdoor cameras. One thing I found a bit odd with the Aqara G5 Pro is that you cannot view the live feed in the Aqara app when the internet is down, like you can with other outdoor cameras like this battery-powered Eufy 2C camera. It's a feature I expected to be standard, especially for a security camera that is continually powered. So keep this in mind if you rely on local access for security footage. Night vision is where things are most surprising because unlike other cameras, there's no black and white night vision for using at night. Instead, it uses color night vision, allowing for daytime-like clarity in pitch dark conditions, without the built-in spotlight being on. As you can tell, it's pitch dark outside, and viewing faces or objects are pretty clear and smooth. Color night vision looks the best with other lights on nearby, like street lights or using the built-in spotlight and for accurate AI detection. The built-in spotlight is quite bright and has a wide range for making faces and objects clear and does a good job at not overexposing faces when up close. Although the color night vision is good, it would have been nice to have a black and white vision option as a backup and the ability to toggle between the two. Audio quality on the speaker and the camera sounds pretty good. This is how the audio quality sounds coming from the Aqara G5 Pro hub camera. Again, this is how the audio quality will sound whenever you're talking to the camera. This is how the audio quality sounds coming out of the speaker on the Aqara G5 Pro camera. I am talking to the camera from the Aqara app, and this is how the audio quality will sound. Motion alerts are quick with general motion and specific detection types, including humans with facial recognition, pets, packages, and vehicles. Each event alert opens with a clip of the respective alert. The best part about these different detection types is that they can all be used in automations. And this is where the magic happens with this camera. The G5 Pro is able to control devices based on whose face or vehicle is detected, using a car's shape, size, and color. So if my face or car is detected in the driveway when I pull in, my front door can automatically unlock and turn on lights. When I'm leaving, the door can automatically lock and turn off the lights. If my wife's face or car is detected, different devices can be controlled, but if an unrecognizable face or car is seen, nothing can happen. You could use this camera on a front porch to be alerted if a package has been delivered or picked up. And if a porch pirate is detected at night, the camera can activate the spotlight and sound an alarm on the camera to deter an intruder. The G5 Pro camera also has sound detection to detect for sounds like a baby crying, a dog barking, or even coughing. All of these detection settings can be toggled in the Aqara app while viewing the live feed and can be customized with detection range, sensitivity, and time of day. However, adjusting the detection frequency to under 3 minutes for most detection types requires a subscription to their cloud storage service, which does make using these alerts quite frustrating. The Aqara G5 Pro does not require a hub to work. In fact, it's a hub for other devices. It has Zigbee for pairing Aqara's Zigbee line of devices. It's a Thread border router for Thread-enabled devices from Aqara or third parties. And as a Matter bridge, it can integrate certain third-party Matter devices into the Aqara app directly and in the Aqara ecosystem to use in other automations. It's the second camera in general to support Matter behind the Aqara G3 and the only outdoor camera to support Matter for seamless integration into various smart home ecosystems, including Google, Amazon SmartThings, and Apple Home, to view the live feed. You will need a Matter controller for each ecosystem you want to use the G5 Pro camera in, and for Apple Home, it's either an Apple TV, HomePod Mini, or HomePod. You can use this camera with Apple Home without connecting it to the Aqara app, but you won't have access to firmware updates or AI detection automations. It's recommended adding this camera to the Aqara app first, then Apple Home for full functionality. The live feed loads quickly, even over Wi-Fi, and the video quality is 1080p, which is standard for HomeKit cameras, but can still stream and record in full resolution in the Aqara app. It supports two-way talk, and audio quality sounds great both ways. This is how the audio quality sounds coming out of the speaker on the Aqara G5 Pro camera. I am talking to the camera from the Apple Home app. Alright, so it's raining pretty hard right now, And this is actually going to be a good example of how the audio quality sounds. The audio you are hearing is coming from the Apple Home app. Again, I'm talking to the camera on the microphone, and the audio is coming from the Apple Home app. Boy, I gotta get out of here. The G5 Pro has a built-in security system controllable via the Home app and can be used in home automations to arm or disarm the system when you leave or return home. You'll need to first set up modes in the Aqara app, including device triggers and actions like sounding an alarm if a specific sensor opens while you're away. If you want me to make a video on how the Aqara security systems work, then comment the word security down in the comment section below. The built-in spotlight is also controllable directly from the Home app, making the G5 Pro the only AC-powered HomeKit camera with spotlight control. You can toggle it on and off and adjust its brightness, though not the hue. Other brands that offer HomeKit cameras like Wifi or Netgear do have a spotlight built in, but require their own apps for spotlight control. Using the motion sensor built in, you can automate the spotlight to turn on at full brightness and start recording when motion is detected at night. Speaking of recording, the G5 Pro also supports HomeKit Secure Video, which is Apple's cloud storage service. Using an Apple Home Hub, motion clips are analyzed to identify events, such as people, pets, packages, or vehicles. These clips are then securely uploaded and stored in your iCloud account with an active iCloud Plus subscription. You're able to receive motion alerts, view the live feed, and past clips from all of your Apple devices, like an Apple TV, iPhone, Mac, and Apple Watch. Clips can even be viewed or downloaded when the camera is offline, with all recordings encrypted and private. Here's a pro tip that you may not know about. While viewing the live feed, you can control other devices, like turning on the spotlight to better see somebody, or unlocking the door if you recognize who is there, all without leaving the Home app. For more information on HomeKit Secure Video and the cons with using it, check out my beginner's video right up here. The Aqara G5 Pro stands out from all the other outdoor cameras with its exclusive features, but it also falls short in many ways. This leads us to the cons. What's not so great about this camera? Well, there's really only two major things that might convince you not to buy this camera. The first being local storage. At first, this may sound like a good thing. Motion clips are stored locally on the camera, and you can view them and download them from anywhere. Though this does not work in the way that you would expect. First off, there's two different storage sizes for these cameras, and it's a bit confusing. There's an 8GB model sold exclusively on Amazon, and a 32GB sold exclusively through Aqara's distributors for both the Wi-Fi and the Ethernet model. There's no price difference between the two storage sizes, just if it's the Wi-Fi or Ethernet model. The built-in storage cannot be removed for viewing or upgrading, and only viewable in the Aqara app with end-to-end encryption, or you can back it up to a NAS as well. To make things slightly worse, the footage cannot be viewed when the internet is down from the Aqara app, which is a bummer. My biggest complaint with the Aqara G5 Pro is that it only supports event-based recordings. So there's no option for 24/7 continual recording for either model, even though the camera is always powered on and even hardwired with the Ethernet model. There is continual recording for a time-lapse feature, but not for recording video footage. This means clips may cut off mid-event, which happened to me during an audio test. Now, I would expect this from an outdoor battery-powered camera to preserve the battery life, but not from a camera that is continually being powered. Viewing the event clips is not the easiest to do. The video timeline is difficult to navigate using a small vertical layout instead of a horizontal layout that takes advantage of all this empty space and is much easier to use like other cameras use. There's no zoom, and these buttons on the side don't do anything here. So precise scrolling is very challenging. Things get worse with video playback that often starts out fine, but becomes jittery over time while viewing. Now, this camera has free local storage, but Aqara again puts a lot of basic features behind a paywall that make viewing footage frustrating if you do not pay for their cloud service. Without their cloud service, you will only have access to your footage from the last day, even if there's more footage available on the camera. You're also not able to record or download motion clips, so you'll have to screen record to save footage. Aqara's cloud service is called Home Guardian, and you'll get a free trial when you buy the G5 Pro camera for extended event history for up to 90 days, the ability to download clips natively, and more. This sounds great, but footage is split into separate albums organized by event type, which means you'll have to filter through them to find the clip that you want to download. Event filtering for cloud clips is useful, and you can view them when the camera is offline, of course, but why can't all of this information be stored directly on the timeline? Having footage scattered across multiple albums and locations makes it more difficult to find footage. The second con I have with this camera is that there's no battery-powered option, so you'll need an outlet nearby for installation, either inside or outside, and a way to conceal the wire. If the included 6-foot cable is not long enough, you can buy a longer one, but you'll need to provide your own power source. This limits mounting options compared to battery-powered cameras, which can be placed in more flexible spots, like on the sides of houses or in trees. With features like hardwiring capability, excellent video quality, color night vision, a hub for other devices, and Matter support with HomeKit Secure Video, I'd say this camera mostly lives up to the hype. It's certainly a great option for a HomeKit outdoor security camera and is the only native Apple home camera to support Ethernet and Matter. But should you buy this camera? Well, here's my take. If you have existing hardwired cameras, the G5 Pro is a good choice for native HomeKit support if your current ones don't support HomeKit or you don't need continual recording. If you're looking to add a new camera somewhere and can run Ethernet, then I would highly recommend the hardwired version. If you don't have a way to hardwire it, the Wi-Fi model is still a solid choice if you want HomeKit Secure Video support for cloud recordings. If you're looking for an outdoor camera with native HomeKit support and continual recording, you'll have to look at third-party options that work with something like Homebridge or Hoobs, as there's currently no cameras on the market to natively support HomeKit and continual recording. However, if you're using battery-powered outdoor cameras currently, or don't have a nearby outlet or the ability to run Ethernet, the G5 Pro won't really work for those situations, and a battery-powered camera may be best. All of the models, the colors, and the storage sizes are available now globally, and I'll leave a link down in the description to pick them up in the different locations. As somebody who uses outdoor cameras that work with HomeKit, I'm super happy that we finally have a hardwired version that works with HomeKit, but I will not be buying it. And that's because I'm shutting down my smart home soon. I'll explain why more in my next video, but for now, let me know what you guys think about the Aqara G5 Pro Hub camera in the comments below. Are you buying it? Are you not buying it? Let me know your thoughts down below, and thank you for watching.